somewhere between history and legend, lies a forgotten manuscript, written in an unknown language, filled with strange symbols and mysterious illustrations. It has no known author, no confirmed origin, and no one has ever successfully translated a single word. What secrets does it hold? Is it a religious text, a historical account, or something far more dangerous? Today, on Shrouded Mysteries, we explore the enigmatic Rohonc Codex, a book that has defied linguists, historians, and cryptographers for over 2 centuries. A text so bizarre, it blurs the line between fact and fiction. This is a story of puzzles without solutions, and a manuscript that refuses to give up its secrets. The story of the Rohonc Codex begins not with its creation, but with its discovery. The manuscript first surfaced in Hungary in the early 19th century when it was donated to the Hungarian Academy of Sciences by Count Gustav Batthyány. But here's where the mystery thickens. No one knows where the Count got it, and no historical record exists before that point. The manuscript is composed of 448 pages, each filled with intricate writing in an unknown script, neither Latin, Greek, Cyrillic, nor any language known to history. Alongside the text are over 80 illustrations, depicting battles, cityscapes, religious rituals, and strangely dressed figures. But even these images raise more questions than answers. Some look Christian, others Islamic, and a few resemble Eastern traditions. It's as if the book borrows symbols from across civilizations, or perhaps none at all. Early theories claimed it might be a hoax. Others speculated it was an unknown medieval script, perhaps related to ancient Hungarian, or even the lost language of the Dacians. But no concrete evidence has ever confirmed its origin. Where did it come from? Who wrote it? And more importantly, why was it written in a script no one understands? Whatever its purpose, the Rohonc Codex entered history already shrouded in obscurity. And since then, the mystery has only deepened. The most striking feature of the Rohonc Codex is its writing system. It contains nearly 800 distinct symbols, far more than any known alphabet. Some resemble letters or numerals, others look more like pictographs, and yet they repeat in patterns, suggesting structure, maybe even grammar. But despite decades of effort, no one has definitively cracked the code. Several cryptographers and linguists have tried. In the 1990s, Hungarian researcher Attila Nyeri suggested the script might be secular Hungarian runes written from right to left. Later, a physicist named Varga tried to apply statistical models, proposing the text could be an encoded form of an Indo-European language. But these theories remain speculative. None have gained consensus. What makes deciphering the Codex so difficult is that it's not just the symbols, it's the lack of any known reference. There's no bilingual text like the Rosetta Stone, no known origin, no glossary, nothing to compare it to. Even AI and pattern recognition technologies have been applied, but they've yielded no definitive result. The only thing experts agree on is this: the Codex was written with intention. It follows rules. It's not random scribbling or a child's imitation of text. Whoever wrote it had a system. But what was that system? A forgotten language, an elaborate cipher, or a masterful deception meant to test the boundaries of knowledge itself? Beyond its strange script, the Rohonc Codex is filled with over 80 hand-drawn illustrations, and these are perhaps even more baffling than the text. The images show scenes of warfare, religious ceremonies, and everyday life. But something is off. You'll see crosses, halos, and what appear to be Christian baptisms. Yet alongside these are figures and symbols reminiscent of Islamic, Hindu, and even ancient pagan iconography. The coexistence of these seemingly contradictory elements has led some to speculate that the Codex depicts a forgotten syncretic religion, or perhaps a reinterpretation of known faiths through the lens of an unknown culture. Others suggest these aren't religious symbols at all, but allegories, illustrations meant to convey philosophical or esoteric ideas that the text fails to express clearly. The consistency of the art style, though primitive, implies a single author or artist, someone with a defined worldview and a message to encode visually as well as linguistically. Some scenes even depict what look like military campaigns or sieges. But who are the factions? No known flags or insignias match. It's like peering into a world that once existed or was imagined, yet left no trace in historical records. Could these drawings be historical memories, religious myths, or part of an elaborate hoax crafted with just enough ambiguity to keep scholars chasing shadows for centuries? Over the decades, linguists, cryptographers, and historians have tried and failed to decode the Rohonc Codex. Some of the most prominent theories fall into three camps: forgery, lost language, or esoteric encryption. One theory points to Samuel Literati Nemes, a 19th-century Hungarian antiquarian known for his forgeries. Since the Codex appeared after his death, some believe it was one of his unfinished works. But unlike most forgeries, the Rohonc Codex doesn't copy known languages. It invents one. A hoax of this complexity and length seems unnecessarily elaborate, even for someone like Nemes. Others argue that the Codex is written in an obscure, possibly extinct language using an unknown script. Candidates include early Hungarian, Old Turkic, or even a local dialect invented and used by a secretive religious sect. The structure of the script, with a high frequency of recurring symbols and symmetry, suggests that it could be real. But no Rosetta Stone has been found. Then there's the esoteric theory, that the Codex isn't meant to be decoded in a traditional sense. Instead, it may be a spiritual or alchemical manuscript, written in a personal language, like a cipher for the soul. Supporters of this theory often cite similarities to the Voynich manuscript and other undeciphered works of mystical origin. Despite multiple computer-assisted attempts in the 20th and 21st centuries, no clear pattern has emerged. Every new theory seems to uncover more questions than answers. And that's where the Rohonc Codex begins to resemble a mirror. It reflects back the obsessions of whoever tries to understand it. Today, the Rohonc Codex remains in the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, stored carefully in a vault, protected, yet still unread. But it hasn't been forgotten. In the digital age, the manuscript has found a new audience. Independent researchers, amateur code breakers, and online mystery hunters, forums, Reddit threads, and YouTube channels dissect the Codex line by line, sometimes obsessively. Some claim progress, others claim hoax, but no one has cracked it. In 2010, Hungarian engineer and scholar Miklos Bona claimed to have made significant headway, suggesting the language may be an early form of Hungarian written right to left using a unique script. However, his findings remain controversial and unconfirmed by mainstream academia. Despite being one of the lesser-known manuscripts compared to the Voynich or the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Rohonc Codex has carved out a niche of fascination. Its eerie illustrations, indecipherable text, and mysterious origins have elevated it from obscure relic to cult artifact. And perhaps that's the Codex's true legacy, not in the words it hides, but in the fire it ignites in those who dare to search. The Rohonc Codex stands not just as a challenge to linguists, historians, and cryptographers, but as a symbol of what we do not yet know, a reminder that even in an age of information, some secrets still hold tight to their silence. Was it a pious invention? A monk's devotion disguised in encrypted scripture? Was it a hoax meant to confuse and deceive? Or is it a treasure trove of forgotten knowledge, waiting for the right mind to unlock its secrets? We may never know. But that's the beauty of mysteries like the Rohonc Codex. They force us to look deeper, think harder, and ask the uncomfortable questions. In a world rushing toward answers, sometimes the question is more powerful. And so, the Codex waits, silent, stubborn, and untouched, for someone bold enough to understand its voice. Is the Codex's true legacy, not in the words it hides, but in the fire it ignites in those who dare to search. As the final veil falls, we're reminded that the world is far stranger than we ever imagined. Behind every whisper, behind every hidden page, there is a truth, waiting. Some stories may never be fully understood. Some secrets refuse to be unearthed. But in our search, in our questions, we find a kind of truth all its own. Thank you for walking with us through the shadows, for daring to ask the questions others won't. This has been Shrouded Mysteries, where the unknown isn't feared but followed. Until we meet again, stay curious, stay open, and never stop looking into the dark.